I am only eating 8 foods for the rest of my life. Just kidding. But you never know. It's possible. Don't tempt me. However, I can get all of the vitamins and minerals I need from just 8 foods, plus some supplements, okay? Now, I don't know about you, but when I watch what I eat in a day videos, then people will say like, I'm having ground beef. And I'm like, cool, but how much are you having? Or I take vitamin D. I'm like, sweet, what's the brand? And I just want to know exactly what they're doing, especially if they're going to make crazy claims saying they can get all the vitamins and minerals they need from 8 foods. Then I want to know how you're doing it to the T. I want to know to the flippin' gram. How are you doing that? Because let me just say, I cannot get all of the vitamins and minerals I need from these 8 foods if I'm eating a small amount of them. It is very specific quantities of these foods. And so in this video, we're gonna get in the weeds and get very detailed. So I've been told if I tell people exactly what I eat, then people will try to copy me. And you know, not a bad idea, but I don't think people should copy me. I do think you should do what's best for you. And that's why in this video, I'm going to show how I create my meal plan because my husband and I eat differently. And so by showing you exactly how I create what I eat, then you should be able to take the reign and be able to create your own plan. Stan or Linda or Julie or Sandra. Got you in there, Sandra. Woo! Who's excited? Forgot to mention why I am only eating 8 foods. And it's not because it's any specific health reason or for weight loss or to save money. It is simply because I am a minimalist and I like to keep my life simple, and why overcomplicate things if I don't have to? So that is why I am only eating 8 foods and the same 8 foods every day. No fancy reason, just simplicity. And I like the taste of the food, and you'll see they're nutritious. I'm still trying to figure out how to make this next part of the video fun because, you know, I'm just trying to help people get healthy. And I know that when we start talking about vitamins and minerals, it can get a little bit boring. And we can't have you sleeping because this is the golden part of the video. Like, I want you to walk away from this video going, holy cow, I can't believe that video was free, because this is the good stuff. We're going to try to keep it fun, but stay alert. When I'm trying to figure out what to eat and how to create a meal plan, I'll first go on this website called Chronometer. It's free, which is my favorite word. And the reason why I like this website so much is because it breaks down the calories, proteins, fats, and carbs just like other tracking apps. But how it's different is that it then breaks down the vitamins and minerals from vitamin B1, B2, B3, B5, B6, B12, folate, vitamin A, C, D, E, K, calcium, copper, iron, magnesium, manganese, phosphorus, potassium, selenium, sodium, and zinc. I did that on the first try. Yeah. That just showed me how much time I spend on Chronometer. I need some new hobbies. Now, all of these vitamins and minerals have very specific roles within the body. So for example, vitamin D helps us have a strong immune system, helps prevent us from getting sick as often. Calcium helps us have strong bones and teeth. Vitamin A helps with our night vision. Magnesium helps the rhythm of our heart. And so if the body becomes deficient in one of these things, then the body goes, well, what the heck? What am I supposed to do? Throughout this video, you're going to see how much food I have to consume in order to hit all these nutrients. And therefore, for people, if they're eating less food, if they're calorie restricting, going on a diet, being in a deficit, trying to eat less, it's harder to hit all these nutrients, and then the body gets out of whack. The hormones become imbalanced. They hit a weight loss plateau. Their thyroid starts down-regulating. Their testosterone goes down. They get so tired and they want to take a nap. They don't sleep through the night. They don't feel very good. They get sick more often. And lo and behold, they're not getting all the vitamins and minerals they need. All this to say, when I'm trying to create a meal plan for myself or for a client, then I will go into Chronometer and start plugging in the foods that I enjoy, see what nutrients I get out of those foods. Men and women, a male has different requirements for nutrients than a female. And so the Bryce has a different meal plan than me. Someone else who is not menstruating would have a different meal plan than moi. And so We all need different stuff. Go in Chronometer, it'll tell you what you need. I'm gonna quit jibber jabbering and we'll cut straight to the 8 foods. I'll put the vitamins and minerals chart right here so that way you can see when I add in different foods how it impacts the vitamins and minerals. Because I know that's what we're all concerned about over here. I know I am. Eggs, one of nature's multivitamins, help me in a lot of different areas. I'm doing 3 a day, not 2, not 4, 3 for me. A cup of yogurt and basically an ounce of cheese. If we really want to go down to the gram, 34 grams of Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. Other cheeses provide different nutrients, but this one, because it's raw, it's fermented, it has a different nutrient profile. These guys really help me with the calcium. Butter, 2.5 tablespoons down to the half tablespoon to hit me that vitamin A at the end of this. And let's just address it now that my goal is to get all of these vitamins and minerals to hit 100% at least, hit them to green. And now, hey, I know that this is not perfect. I know Chronometer is not God. I recognize that all these vitamins and minerals are just man-made. I don't know, do we actually need to hit this much selenium? Do we need to have a lot more vitamin D? And so please keep in mind that I personally like to hit the green bar because it's just fun for me. But I don't actually think I have to hit all these vitamins and minerals every single day in these particular quantities. In fact, a lot of these vitamins and minerals are based off of the RDAs, based off of people who are eating a standard American diet, people who are eating breads and pastas and brownies, and they'll require different nutrients than someone who's not having those foods. And so I'm not like losing sleep over here if I don't hit these nutrients, but I also get a lot of joy out of hitting the nutrients. Some people like fishing, some people like playing video games, other people like painting their nails, and then there's me who likes to go on Chronometer in her free time and try to figure out how to get all the bars to green. I also just had my lab work done and it said that my biological age is 19, and I was like, oh snap, okay. So hitting these nutrients has really helped keep my insides, kept my organs, kept my body parts all nice and young. I'm like a teeny bopper over here, and so I'm gonna keep chugging along and eating my nutrients. And you guys wonder how I have all of this energy. It's the nutrients. Blueberries, for manganese in particular. Because other fruits, yeah, and trust me, I was plugging and playing all sorts of different fruits. Blueberries are awesome when it comes to manganese. Reiterating that these are the 8 foods that work for me. Some people may not tolerate dairy. Other people may not do well with eggs. Some people may not want to have as many carbs. And so therefore, I would go on Chronometer. Start plugging and playing different foods. Chicken breast versus chicken thighs. Salmon, asparagus, oysters. See what these foods provide you, what quantities of these foods to have, and then create a meal plan like that. Some people may not need to hit every single vitamin and mineral every single day because later in the week, they're gonna have the shrimp. Later in the week, they're gonna have lamb chops. But for me, because I'm gonna eat the same food every single day, I'm not getting in the rotation different days of the week that I would like to try to get my vitamins and minerals as closely to 100% each day, since I'm not going to be incorporating different foods that would provide different nutrients different days of the week. Cool. Remember when I said I wanted to make my life more simple? And this seems very complex, but it's just the initial, getting the meal plan created that can take some time and be a little complicated. But now I don't have to think about what to eat. I know exactly what I'm doing. Beef, you know it, ground beef in particular. It's a superfood. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And it's so simple and easy to make. 20 ounces of beef a day, AKA 5 burger patties a day, which, spoiler, jumping the gun here, but come the end of the video, you'll notice that iron is one of 2 nutrients that I don't end up hitting. And I really want to emphasize this point because with men, you're a different breed. Women who are no longer menstruating, a different category. But for women who are menstruating, often a lot of women nowadays are considered anemic. They're considered low in iron. And that's why I want to emphasize this point that I'm eating 5 burger patties a day, and I'm still not meeting the minimum recommendations according to the RDAs. And we'll talk more about beef and iron later on in the video. Pork chop. These little guys help me hit my vitamin B1, so 4 ounces of pork chop a day hits me with the green with the B1, so we're gonna take it. All right, ignore the apples. Actually, let's talk about these guys. Apples are not worth my time. I've plugged and played, I messed around with chronometer, I tried to mix and match, and apple just doesn't make the cut. But oranges did make the cut. So either having 1 orange a day or 3 clementines a day, little cuties. These little cutie patooties, they help me with vitamin C and with folate. Now, in particular with the vitamin C, I believe if someone's eating a low-carb diet, they don't actually require as much vitamin C in comparison to someone who's eating a lot more carbs. The 2 bigger reasons why I'm doing the oranges is because of the folate. Citrus fruits are actually pretty high in folate in comparison to other fruits. Vegetables are pretty high in folate, but sometimes they cause my skin to get worse and they just make me really bloated. And I also incorporate the cutie pies because of carbs. I actually want to have some carbohydrates in my life because carbohydrates help my sleep. I have done different variations of very low carb diets being under 20 grams of carbs or less in a day. And for a period of time, that will work for me until it catches up and I start all of a sudden waking up 3:30, 4 in the morning, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, my cortisol's shooting through the roof. And so for me, having a little bit of carbohydrates does help keep my cortisol lower and help me sleep more soundly through the night. I like having carbohydrates to help make me have a little bit more energy, a little bit more of a zing to push it more in the gym, to get more out of my workouts and therefore build more muscle mass. I also like having a little bit of carbohydrates to stimulate my appetite, to keep me eating more food, because for me, if I just eat meat and fat, I tend to be so stuffed and full that I can't eat enough food, but having a little carbohydrates makes me keep eating. And that's a good thing for me because I don't want to be in a deficit. I don't want to not eat all of the vitamins and minerals my body needs. I don't want to now start seeing hair loss, muscle wasting, feeling cold all the time. I don't want to skip a menstrual cycle. I don't want to have low energy. I want to sleep through the night. And so therefore, I don't want to be not eating all the nutrients I need to eat. Does everybody have to eat fruit? Does everybody have to have carbohydrates? No. But I would argue everybody should be trying to hit their vitamins and minerals. Do it as you please. I'm getting kicked out of the kitchen because it's time to cook. Oh, and I'll make a video too with how we make the foods, exactly how we make them, how we cook them, and the whole shebang are coming soon. So you can see, even after eating all of this food, as a 5'2" tall, 115-pound female, having 2,700 calories of nutrient-dense food, I'm still low in certain vitamins and minerals. So based on the vitamins and minerals, still a little bit low in certain areas, hence why we got some pills and things, okay? So one is, let me just start by saying, I was always taught if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it. But if you feel the need to comment and to say something to get it off your chest and it makes you feel better and it makes you happy, by all means, I just want you to feel happy. So, have at it. I'm going to talk about some supplements. And granted, I was somebody who was totally anti-supplements. I was like, they're a waste of time. They're a scam. People are getting ripped off over here. They're so silly. Our ancestors would not have taken supplements in the past. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Until I got my blood work done and until I have personally seen how supplements have genuinely helped me. So take it for what it's worth. If you are not interested, then skip through this part. But I'm going to talk about the things that help me bing, bang, boom, the rest of my vitamins and minerals, starting with salt. Granted, I don't consider salt a supplement, but regardless, I just add a little bit to my meat and it should help me hit my sodium. For the last 10 months, I actually stopped putting salt on my food because I wanted to see if it would help with my skin health and a little bit of some irritation I have on the back of my head. And I didn't see much improvement without the salt. And instead, I just got my lab work done and it showed that I do have a deficiency in my sodium. So bringing the salt back in, tossing a little bit on the beef, it's amazing. It's the cherry on top of the meat. It's like, whoo, baby. I am a firm believer that people should try to get all the vitamins and minerals they need from food. Now, that said, I think there are just 2 supplements that pretty much everyone, well, I shouldn't say everyone, but a lot of people would need, and it would be vitamin D and magnesium. I'm going to explain why. With vitamin D, the best source of it and the best way to get it is through the sun. Our ancestors probably didn't have any vitamin D deficiency. They were out living in the sun, sleeping outside, and they were getting the D. Most of us nowadays aren't. And even for me, as someone who grew up in San Diego, who lived in Hawaii for a few years, I still had low vitamin D levels. So from my research and different doctors I've interviewed, they would say that most people would need about 4,000 to 5,000 IU of vitamin D a day to maintain their levels. So for me, when I was deficient, when I was low, when I got my vitamin D levels tested, I had to take 10,000 IU of vitamin D for like 30 days to boost my vitamin D levels. If I'm ever feeling a little bit sick or a stuffy nose, if I'm traveling, I will usually take 10,000 IU of vitamin D daily because it just really helps our immune system, helps prevent us from getting sick, helps with testosterone, with muscle mass. It is like the bee's flipping knees. So I'm not going to risk being deficient in vitamin D. I actually take 6,000 IU daily because I take a 5,000 IU. This is doctor's best. It's no particular brand. I think as long as someone's getting vitamin D3, that is what I would be looking out for, is that it is D3. Usually I just go on Amazon and see whatever brand is on sale and stock up. So I happen to have Doctor's Best in my house right now, taking one of those. But then I also take Thorne's vitamin D3 K2, and I'm mainly taking this one for the K2 because I want to make sure I'm having enough K if I'm taking the D. I put 2 drops in my mouth in the morning. There are 4 reasons why I supplement with magnesium. 1, because our ancestors back in the day, they used to bathe in the rivers, in the streams, in the oceans filled with magnesium. They were getting tons of magnesium all over their bodies when they were taking their baths. Most of us aren't having shower water come out with magnesium. On top of this, our water supply, the water that we drink, is filtered. And our ancestors, again, they would have been drinking water that had more minerals, had more magnesium in it. Thirdly, thousands of years ago, our soil was more rich and fertile. Nowadays, due to monocropping and glyphosate and the way in which we've treated our soil isn't as rich, that nowadays the crops, the plants growing have less magnesium in them. The animals who eat the plants have less magnesium in them. And so I believe it's just really hard to get enough magnesium from food alone. 4th reason for the magnesium is because when people are more stressed, when their cortisol is higher, our body pulls more magnesium out of our muscles. And so people in the past, they were connected with nature, they were grounding, they were singing and dancing and playing. And a lot of us nowadays are more go, go, go. We're watching social media, the news, our work, our family, our life. We are a lot more busy, stressed kind of people. That's the 4th reason why I think most people would want to consider supplementing with magnesium, because the body may require more. All this to say, the magnesium I take is through Bioptimizers, because on top of that, not only is it helping me hit my magnesium, but it also has manganese in it. So it pops me off with manganese as well. And what I like about this brand in comparison to other magnesium brands is people always want to know, what's the best kind of magnesium? Is it glycinate? Is it citrate? Is it taurate? Is it malate? And they all do different roles within the body. Magnesium citrate can help with constipation. Magnesium glycinate can help with sleep. Magnesium taurate can help with our heart health and our blood pressure. And so all of the different forms of magnesium do different roles. And this magnesium has 7 different forms of magnesium in it. So to me, it's the bee's knees. The brand is Bioptimizers, and they are one of our video sponsors. So if you'd like to check them out, you can get 10% off by using discount code Lillie Kane, or you can get 10% off your order by going to the URL bioptimizers.com/Lillie Kane. Now, I've also got copper. Copper, boom, hits me on the green. Again, this is through Thorne. It's copper bisglycinate, and my copper levels were also a little bit low when I got my blood work done. So not only am I not getting enough through the food I eat, but also my blood work resulted in lower levels of copper. Taking the copper. Vitamin E. It also comes with K2. I just take 2 capsules a week that hit my vitamin E essentially every day when I divide it out by 7. Now that's it. That's all the food, all the supplements that I'm taking currently, though you'll notice my chronometer is showing that I'm still low in folate and in iron. Now this is where we go back to, again, chronometer is not God. It's not perfect. And for me, when I got my lab work done, my iron levels were fine. And I think it's because I'm cooking in a cast iron pan. More on that in a different story, but even things like vitamin C can help absorb iron. And so by pairing some of the cuties with the ground ground beef. I'm really not concerned with my iron, considering I typically have been higher in my iron on my blood work. More on that a different day. With the folate, even for me, my folate levels every time I've gotten tested have been totally fine, whether I was actually having foods with folate in my diet or without having foods or supplements in my diet without folate. I still have been fine with my folate levels with my blood work. Now, that said, once in a while, occasionally, I'll throw in some broccoli just to hit the green. And also, I kind of like the taste of broccoli sometimes. But if I have broccoli every single day, for me, it causes me to have more bloating and gas and more acne and more just digestive kind of uncomfortability. So I'm not a huge let me have lots of veggies every day, but a little bit of broccoli can go a long way. The singular food highest in folate in the whole entire planet is beef liver, and even the beef liver would help my iron. So I might even have some beef liver here or there. I actually like the taste of liver. I know a lot of people don't, but other foods higher in folate would be things like Brussels sprouts are really high, asparagus is really high, things like even avocados can be higher in folate. So I'm not a huge fan of asparagus and Brussels sprouts. They just don't make me feel very well, and they make me kind of stinky. So I'll pass on those ones. But when it's avocado season, I might have some avocados. So I'm not saying I'm only going to eat these foods for the rest of my life. But like I mentioned, I recently had my blood work done, and in 6 months from now, I'll get my blood work done again. So I do anticipate eating these 8 foods plus some supplements for the next 6 months. And again, if once in a while I have some shrimp or some salmon, or if I have some chicken or a Brussels sprout or something, I'm not losing sleep over it. For the most part, I would say like 95% of my diet is going to be everything we talked about today. And then we'll see in 6 months from now how this impacted my blood work. I did create a video that talks about how to track your food in Chronometer. So I'll leave that link right here. I hope you guys have a happy day. Subscribe for more content, and I'll see you soon.